Okay, guys, we're going to be adding mixed numbers now. Whenever I see mixed numbers like this, we could probably do this one in our head because it's a really easy one. But even so, one thing I always do is I always rewrite my problem vertically. And you will see why it's not so important for this one, but you will see why that's going to make a big difference. Starting with the fractional column, right? Kind of like the ones column, but these are fractions, fractional column. 2/5 plus 1/5 is going to be 3/5. 3 wholes plus one more whole is 4 wholes, just like that. Easy, right? The next one we're going to do is 3 2/5. And I'm just going to start out writing it vertically. And 1 4/5. You might have a problem that looks like this, starting with your fractional amounts first. 2/5 plus 4/5 is 6/5. And right away, you might see, you have an improper fraction. So really, this doesn't really belong completely in the fractional amount anymore, the fractional column, because you can make a whole with that. So if you have 6/5, you can make one whole using 5 of the fifths, and you'll have what left over? 1/5. So we have 1/5 left over, and we made one whole and 1/5. I don't like that 5, sorry. And then we just go ahead and add here 3, 4, 5. So the final answer is 5 1/5. But we had to convert. If you come up to improper fraction, you want to always get in the habit of changing that into a mixed number and putting them in their proper columns. So that might be something that happens. Let's try this one. 3 1/3 plus 2 3/6. Now, in this one, you're starting in your fractional column or your fraction, adding the fractions first. You might notice right away, you've got different denominators. So this is why it's kind of nice to have it vertically, because I know I want to create a fraction that has 6 in the denominator. And so I have room here to do that. Get rid of all that. 2/6 plus 3/6 is 5/6. 3 wholes plus 2 more wholes is 5 wholes. 5 5/6. Sometimes you'll have to make one equivalent fraction. And then sometimes it'll look like this. 2 2/3 plus 1 3/5. And I'm looking here and I'm like, okay, the denominators don't match. That's my first thing I'm going to notice. And I also notice that 3 times something will never get me 5, and 5 divided by another whole number will never get me 3. So I know I've got to get to work making some equivalent fractions. I know in the end, I'm going to come up with 2 new gorgeous fractions. I'm going to be multiplying or dividing, so I'm going to leave some room to do that work. I know that a 15 is a multiple of both 3 and 5, so I will do that. 3 times 5 is 15. And I know I also will multiply the numerator by 5. And then down here, I need to multiply by 3. 5 times 3 gets 15. And then the top numerator is also multiplied by 3. So altogether, you're going to end up with 19/15. Improper fraction, right? I almost wish they were called uncomfortable fractions, because when you see an improper fraction, you should feel a bit uncomfortable, like you want to change it into a mixed number. Okay, so think of that. When I see 19/15, my mind automatically thinks, well, how many wholes? That's more than a whole. How many wholes would it be? So we can make one whole using 15 of the 19 pieces. And then we have 4 left over. And what are those? 15ths. Got it. So our final answer is 1 4/15. So try it out. Keep yourself organized. Think about having a column that's fractional and a column that's whole numbers. That might help you as you're adding.